All right, boys and girls, this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. It's so simple. You go to the App Store, you download PrizePicks. You can pick more or less on your favorite players, NBA, NHL, UFC, boxing. If you pick enough, you can pick 2 people. You can pick 8 people. Chance to win 100 times your money. It's available in states like Texas, California, 30 more, plus Canada. For new users, when you sign up, use code Timbo when you sign up. You place a $5 lineup, and you'll get $50 instantly. No strings attached. So if you think you know sports, PrizePicks, code Timbo. Back to the program. Okay, boys and girls. We're back again. And boys, a nice night out. Beautiful time to be alive. Lots to be thankful for. You got 2 eyes, 2 legs, 2 arms. And you know what? God damn. Got to put some prayers out there for old Ben Askren because he is going through it, dude.
Damn.
What an animal. What an animal. But we'll start off with a positive note here. Today, we're with the legend Joe Riggs, as always. And then we got the legend Mike Dolce, one of the biggest OG nutritionists in our game. And, it goes way back. 3 weeks of shredded saved my life back in the day. It really did. So, pumped to talk to him. So, let's get that posture up. Grab a refreshment of your choice. And let's get serious, huh? Okay, here we go. All right, boys and girls, we got Mike Dolce blessing us today. Dude, thanks for making the time out, Mikey.
Dude, I'm so happy to be here, man. When I got the message, the DM from you, you slid into my DMs. I was like, look at Tim, right on, let's go. Now Riggs is on the show, baby. I'm excited.
Nice.
Dude, hell yeah. So you started way back did you train in Team Quest in Portland at all?
I was the head strength coach of Team Quest Portland, Oregon in 2004. Randy, Matt, and Dan, Robert Follis, they hired me out of Jersey where I was working with some of the athletes on Team Henzo Gracie. This is early. I was with Team Henzo before Dana and Lorenzo even bought the UFC.
Dude, that is absolutely crazy. Back in the day, because I think I was 20 years old when I was a professional, and I just had no idea what to do when it came to weight cutting, just nutrition in general. They didn't teach me in school. They didn't teach me in college. My parents didn't teach me. And then I'm trying to fight as a professional. And thank God you came out with the book 3 Weeks to Shredded, where you went through Thiago Alves's weight cut. He was also a welterweight. I think the book started at him, I believe, around 191, 195, and walked through 3 weeks how he got to 171. And that absolutely saved my life. How did you get started and passionate about nutrition itself?
I'll condense it because it's a lifelong journey, right? I was always excited about science and math, although I hated school, right? But I was always all in. I was kind of short and small. I was 114 pounds freshman year in high school. Couldn't play basketball, couldn't kick a soccer ball, but I could fight. I could go hard. So I joined the wrestling team. I was a 4-year varsity wrestler. I was a 4-year captain, which is kind of rare. You get a freshman who gets nominated to be a captain. And that's because I had a work ethic and a leadership style. I was there to make my teammates better. And I went all in. I started lifting weights at 8 years old when my dad had a stroke. So I lost my dad early. I was just looking for a male role model. It's kind of the age-old story in a way. And I just fell into the whole bodybuilding, weightlifting, gym bro culture. And I never left, but I had an aptitude for weight cutting, weight management, body composition, strength sports, combat sports. And then I was just surrounded by so many great athletes. And then I just became the go-to guy, and it's never stopped.
Damn, that is pretty awesome. So then how long did it take? Because 3 Weeks to Shredded, was that your first book?
So 3 weeks to shred. So I'm the head strength coach, 2004, Team Quest, Oregon, the #1 fight gym in the world. Mm-hmm. Pat Miletich could maybe argue as a close second, but head to head, the Team Quest guys, I think Dan had the Pride welterweight belt, which was 182 at that point. Evan Tanner had the UFC belt. Randy had the other 205 belt. Pre-war the heavyweight 205. Lindland was ranked #1 at 185. Chael Sonnen was still just a baby, put it that way. Lieben was just getting onto the Ultimate Fighter, season 1 of the Ultimate Fighter. So I'm pre-tough one. I'm already working in the industry as a broke strength coach, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm picking up privates and coaching all the class. I'm running the gym. I got a business background. I'm running the gym. I'm coaching 40 of the world's greatest athletes for free, and I'm running half the classes, right? So I started what I called the Women's Fit program as a way to monetize the girlfriends, the wives of the fighters, right? Give them a safe place where they can come and train back in the old days, right? And it's a great way to kind of get some income. So I'm working with these great ladies, and then I'm taking fights on super short. I'm like 220. I'm taking fights at 185, 170. I'm going through 40-pound weight cuts myself to make $500 just to cover rent, right? Mm-hmm. Fuck, I'm in the gym. I'm training with these dudes every day. Like, I'm not pretending to be a world champion fighter. I ended up being like a tough journeyman. That's a whole nother story, by the way. I'm taking fights to pay the bills, and because I fucking love it, I'm in shape. And these ladies see me lose 40 pounds in like a month. And they're like, what are you doing? Now, I'm coaching them from like 7 to like 8:30. And I have this line of ladies just want to ask me one question. I'm not getting out of the gym till 10, 11 o'clock at night, and it's all weight loss. So I actually wrote 3 Weeks to Shredded with my wife, who was a journalist at the time. I'm just like pacing my Portland condo, smoking weed, drinking coffee, just like, and then this, and then she's there like just fucking typing it all down. I wrote the original 3 Weeks to Shredded. It's a binder. I actually have it over there.
That's the one original. I had. That's the one I had, the binder.
You had you're OG, man. Yeah. That is OG. We printed that at a local community college, kind of like a Kinko's. Like, it was just a local community college. We printed it off with no aspirations of ever selling it. I gave it to every lady in my class as like a free value add. And all of a sudden they started losing weight. And then they're like, hey, can I have another one? Like, my girlfriend at work wants one. I want to give one to my daughter, but I don't want to get rid of mine. And we were like, huh. So we printed another batch. We threw them up on the website, and son of a bitch, they started selling every day. And then all of a sudden, I'll shut up now. We saw on Pirate Bay. I mean, this is back in like the Napster days. Dude, there was 50,000 illegal downloads of 3 Weeks to Shredded back in the early days. Wow. And I didn't even get mad because I'm calculating. I'm like, fuck, man. But I didn't even get mad because I realized, wow, there's a word of mouth demand here. This thing actually, I knew it worked because I was doing it. That's what I was coaching with these athletes. But it worked for regular folks. You obviously pro fighter and whatnot. So it worked for you, but it worked for like moms and like office workers. That was the coolest thing about it. And then we updated it a few years later, and we kind of continued on with the publishing company.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the updated version too. So how many of the original copies did you sell?
Oh, we've sold over 300,000 books as an independent publisher.
Damn, that's awesome,
dude. It blows my mind because 300,000 books get published every year, and less than 5% sell more than 5,000 copies.
Yeah, holy smokes. We
were an independent publisher. It was my wife and I just fucking slinging books out of our little townhouse. And then because Simon & Schuster, HarperCollins, they kind of came to us. We were the #1 bestseller in Barnes & Noble. We beat The Help, which was an Oprah Winfrey book. I think they turned that into a movie. Like, we outsold them. Oh. Dude, all guerrilla, all word of mouth. I'd like to think it was, I mean, I hope that people trusted me and kind of like, damn, this guy, I heard him talk or whatever, and this thing works pretty well. And then kind of that word of mouth. And that's what it was, boys. It was like word of mouth, good brand equity, honest. I never jumped the shark to this day. I still say the same shit that I was saying 20 some odd years ago. I'm not like these thumb dicks always kind of spinning some new tale, right, to sell you the next keto fasting bullshit thing, man. I don't need that money. I just wanted to help people change lives. And it kind of did really well.
Yeah. So how many books did you have total now?
So we have 3 Weeks to Shredded. We have Living Lean, and then Living Lean Cookbook Volumes 1 and 2. 3 Weeks to Shredded and Cookbook Volume 2 sold the most aggregate copies. I mean, 3 Weeks to Shredded still sells every day, right? Damn. That keeps selling. The Cookbook Volume 2 sells every day. Volume 1, was half the size of Volume 2. And then I'll update Living Lean, because there's so much more to tell, and I'll probably cover a lot of my journey in the fight world, a lot of the working. So when I wrote Volume 1, I wasn't working with Ronda yet, Vitor Belfort. I wasn't really, working with some of those athletes, none of the Hollywood people. So I I don't share names a lot. I don't share story. I don't kiss and tell. I like to say I want my athlete to trust me. So when they know I'm in the room with them, that story's never going to leak. I mean, you think about who I've worked with. What have you ever seen me? You never see me even post a photo of me with a client, right? I call them pro hosts. A lot of these guys out there, they just want to like, oh, can I take a selfie? And hey, Riggs, you know, man. Fuck, Tim, you know too. A lot of these coaches, they just want to get in your spotlight, where my job is to stay in the background. My job is to help you do your thing, build your career. And if I do a good job, you'll tell the people you know. And that's always been my clientele. My clientele has been word of mouth. I don't need to kind of like whore myself out for clicks and tweets and retweets and all that bullshit that a lot of these guys and gals do.
Yeah, no, that's pretty badass. So let's go back to the day when you're at Team Quest helping the boys. What's one of the biggest cuts, unhealthy cuts that you saw while you were there that stick out?
Well, like two different. When I first got there, I was like, I am going to learn so much because Randy Couture, remember Light Force Greens, that Randy and Team Quest and Ryan Parts, they were selling, they were slinging that shit. That was like the original AG1. And I was like, wow, Randy, the Natural Couture, I'm going to learn so much. Like, I have no idea in my mind. I get there. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Their way of cutting weight, there was a bar right next door to the gym. This old, like, is Matt Linden's like world class, car dealership. He was like a used car salesman, legit. And there was a
the Team Quest was a car salesman's place. That's what they turned it into.
No kidding, I didn't know that.
Did either of you guys ever go out there?
Yeah, I trained there for about two years with Matt Lindland and stuff, and lived with Robert Follis for a bit.
I never was.
Oh, fuck, man. All right. So I lived with Follis too. He lived with me for a little bit. So we got some stories. I didn't realize kind of, we, Eskimo brothers, as they say. But what I saw with Team Quest, they would walk next door to the bar after practice. They'd all get a couple beers. They'd have a burger and fries. As the fight got closer, they'd stop drinking the beer. They'd switch to like a Diet Coke burger and fries. They're a couple weeks out. They'd get the burger without the bun and the fry. And then like 2 weeks before the fight, they'd like get the burger and a salad. And that would be their like weight cut. And I was like, what? And dude, I was like, I went there as a strength coach, right? I thought like, that's how I'm going to make my mark. Cause I'm a gym guy. I want to be in the gym. I never missed a practice. I was on the mat every day, getting my ass kicked by these fucking monsters. By the end, I was always the best shaped guy in the gym. I'm not, again, not brave. I was never as good of an athlete, but I was always a great round because I was always in shape. I was always ready. I was always rugged. And gyms need guys like that. I'll go another round. Who needs another round? And I'm a southpaw too. Riggs, not a lot of southpaws, so it's hard to get ready. So when like Dan fought Little Nog, like I was his main fucking sparring partner. Dude, that's a rough 2 fucking months, right?
Yes.
That's a rough time. So anyway, but I was never out of shape. I was always there ready to go. And as I was kind of doing the training, I realized like, dude, you're eating all wrong. I can't be a great strength coach if you're not eating properly. So here, do this diet. And then in 2006, when Eddie Herman was fighting for Kendall Grove in Tough 3, the finale of Tough 3, I'm with Eddie the whole time. I'm in his corner in that fight, and they split decision, whatnot. He got the contract, and Eddie had said the term the Dolce diet publicly. It was like just mentioned in the gym. Dolce's diet. Yeah, I'm doing Dolce's diet, right? And then Eddie had said in one MMA Weekly, I think, he's like, oh yeah, I'm following the Dolce diet, and fucking hockey stick trajectory of notoriety. I went from being not just another gym coach to all of a sudden it was this branded Dolce diet thing. And that really created a lot of, more interest, more notoriety, I think, for us. And that's when I realized, you know what, there's a lot of great strength coaches out there, and I'm good. There's a lot of really good ones, but nutrition, I figured if I could differentiate myself inside the Team Quest room, if I could take these, and this is the #1 gym in the world. And if I could make these athletes 30% better because of my nutrition and I saw it, we all saw it. They became so much better athletically because they could push harder. They were recovering faster. They could get more rounds in, more reps. They were more focused, more energy. Their weight cuts were getting so much easier. They were carrying more muscle tissue, less body fat. all of a sudden, it was the performance. I was like, I just got to go all in. And that's where I made a little bit of a pivot into more nutrition coaching than just the strength coach. Then the strength coaching became like, I can write that for you too, but here's the meal plan, here's the nutrition protocol.
Damn, that's pretty awesome. So does any stick out? I mean, when we did the Fight Master show, we had to make 170 back to back, and Joe Riggs would balloon up to 200.
203 or 204.
200, and then we'd have 7-8 days. It was just like, and then you went into what happened after the show? Like,
went into congestive heart failure.
You went into congestive heart failure and damn near died. Like, that's the most weight cut I've ever seen on someone. What's the most that you've seen someone do?
Well, the most that I personally helped was Dwayne Ludwig. Dwayne Bang Ludwig, fastest KO in the UFC. K1 Max North American world champion. For those who don't know, Dwayne is two-time world MMA coach of the year. TJ Dillashaw's coach. Dwayne's the man when it comes to striking MMA coaching. And he was a high-level UFC fighter. One of my best friends in the whole world. I mean, Dwayne and I were brothers, and this bond was forged through MMA and combat. Right. So I'll kind of fast forward. Dwayne, is in the UFC, loses the contract, is out of the UFC. He fights, I think, Waylon Lowe, who was like a mini Sean Shirk on the regional scene. He was a stud, man. Yep. Dwayne fights him in Colorado and smokes him like in December. 2 weeks later, Joe Silva calls. Jim Miller's guy just pulled out, just got hurt. They need a 55er to step in on like January 2nd or January 3rd to fight Jim Miller, who's a fucking tank at this point, just surging through the rank. I mean, he still is. I love Jim. So Dwayne weighed in at like 155 for Waylon. Dwayne's big. You see Dwayne, he was getting big at that point. Needless to say, he was 42.8 pounds over the 56-pound weight limit when he called me. He's like, Dolce, he's like, yo, Silva just called. They want me to fight Jim Miller on this date in this, 2 weeks. Can I take the fight? I said, what do you weigh? He said 42.8. I said,
so 198.
Get me a plane ticket.
198. He's 2 weeks out. Oh, fuck. Oh,
dude. Right. And we did it. I mean, I that night I'm on a plane to Dwayne's house, and it was right to work. And then, we're there in Colorado for a week, and then we're in Vegas for 4 or 5 days. Dwayne went in there, fucking made weight like a fucking stud. That is not everyone can do that mentally. Physically, it's one thing. Mentally, what Dwayne went through, and I was just kind of, the architect. Dwayne was the guy who put in the work, and his wife, Jessica, was amazing in that support system. And so that's the biggest weight cut that, I've ever been a part of. I would never recommend that. And only Dwayne is the only guy I would ever do that with and for, because I had known him a decade and I know his body so well and I know his mentality. He loves to suffer. Like, he's so good at that.
It's crazy.
So if, say you got a 170 pounders, 171 pounds is their limit, what would you say is optimal weight 3 months out?
188.
So about 17 pounds over the limit. Because you see a lot of guys going, they get around 30 pounds or 31 pounds. And I say the same thing. I'm like, dude, anything over 20 pounds is just, it's got to be affecting your health, right?
God, yeah.
Yeah. I call it the 52-week weight cut. And a lot of my disenfranchisement with MMA and combat athletes is their lack of professionalism. So I have the ability, I've worked with many of the other pros in all the other sports. 52 weeks a year, these guys are on the fucking clock. It's not an 8-week training camp and then 8 weeks of fucking partying and getting fat. 52 weeks a year. And the athletes that I was able to impress this upon, who were able to adopt this and follow through this, whether I was even able to share that or not with them, but those who did have the longest careers, and it's financial. Your money-making careers are the last 3 years. If you do it well, you build. I mean, Chris Weidman's going out there. Weidman's still making $500,000 a fight.
Really?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got what? He shows up once or twice a year if he wants to. He can pull another 7 figures plus endorsements and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. If you can preserve your career. And I've even spoken to, and I like Paddy Pimblett, but I kind of offline spoke with him back and forth about like, hey man, like, cause I kind of like had some things to say publicly. So asked me a question. I was like, dude, it's not good for his career. It's not good for his health. To your point, Tim, it's not good for longevity. When you're young, you can do that. But how many athletes have we heard say, I don't know what happened. I did everything I always do. And for some reason, the weight just didn't come off. Your body shut down. It'll never be the same. You broke your body effectively. It's the guy who gets fucking, Chuck Liddell, not to disrespect Chuck, a chin of fucking steel, Rampage dings him one time, his chin's gone forever. Same thing with weight cutting. You do so much damage and you'll never come back. So to answer your question, I want to see the athletes walking around at a very lean body mass. I mean, you're a professional fighter. You should never be above 12%, in my opinion. And the lighter you are, the leaner you should be. Even heavyweights should be walking around 12% body fat. And they'll lie, they'll complain. Dude, you're a fat 205er, right? I love DC. DC was a 205er. I said that since day one. I said, you know what? If DC got his shit dialed in, he would be an 85 pounder.
Oh, for sure.
When we look at body mass, DC would have been the greatest athlete. He would have been John Jones if he made 185. And we know what happened to him in the Olympics. And that was a discipline issue when it came to the food table. One of the greatest athletes to step on the mats and in the octagon. He was undisciplined, in my opinion, at the food table. Mm-hmm. If he could have gotten that right, he probably would have made 3 times more the amount of money he ever did. He would be the GOAT. He's not in the conversation. He would be, and he probably would have been the number one if he was able to do that. Johnny Hendricks, I say the same thing about. Johnny Hendricks should have been a 55 pounder, not a 70 or 85 pounder, right? So, I go on, but it's a matter of functional mass. The more functional tissue you have, the less non-functional tissue, the greater the athlete you are, then the less damage you will incur through the dehydration process. And that's what scares me the most. I'd rather you have less body fat and more water and more fluid inside that body capsule than to have a higher body fat percentage and just wring yourself out, because that's such long-term damage you'll never recover from.
Yeah, and I do think it's becoming more popular. I mean, especially if you're in the top 10 of the UFC, top 5, like living like a professional year round is so important. And I see guys all the time still, the most talented people on earth that I'm like, if they were just dialed outside of fight camp, they 100% could be a world champion. Yeah. But they just can't. I mean, you get done with your 8-week fight camp, whatever, your fight ends, and now you got a fat chunk of change and everyone's wanting you to come to the club. And
what's some people you're thinking about?
I don't want to
come on.
No. I'm not going to air them out. But dude, living like a professional, it's becoming more popular. And now I don't know when the last time you went with someone to the UFC is, how much more professional they've been getting all your rehydration drinks ready, numbering the bottles 1, 2, 3, and then having a full sheet compared to not even 8 years ago. It was just like, fend for yourself, do whatever you want. Here's a couple buffet passes.
Sure. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
it's come a long way. I mean, Charles Hull over at UFC PI, he's really done an amazing job. I think he's taken it to the next level. It's really nice to see. But at the end of the day, it all falls on the athlete. But you look at the roster, it's maybe 10% of the athletes, 20% max, who actually take it seriously. They treat it like a profession. And it's unfortunate because you see a lot of a lot of athletes, they blow their careers just being knuckleheads. But then again, it's mostly knuckleheads that are attracted to the sport anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not even as of recent, I saw someone, I mean, they go through a 6 week dialed in with their weight. They're doing everything right. And then right after the UFC weigh-ins, they're at that buffet. Pancakes, syrup, and just hammering some hash browns. Not even hydrated yet, just hammering the buffet.
I've had my hand in the petticoat or two. I've done that.
100%. Yeah.
Yep.
So getting out of the fight world. So are you still heavy in it, or are you kind of focusing somewhere else?
No, back in 2015, we had our first daughter. And I had already been in the game for over a decade with Team Quest, right? 04 with Team Quest, since 99 with Team Renzo Gracie and a lot of the other athletes fighting over in Pancrase, right? So this is my life. And then 2015, we're living in Vegas. Life is good. Everybody knows me. I'm the Spotlight 4-time World Trainer of the Year, all consecutively back to back. And there's like, I was getting more votes than everybody else combined, right? Hey, that's pretty cool, right? You know, because it's voted on by the fans, nominated by your peers, voted on by the fans. I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. And in 05 or 2015, had our first daughter, and I grew up without a dad. I said, you know what? I got to make a choice. Either I pursue my ego and my own star power, or I completely eject from this world, move our kids, move our family, my first daughter with the plans on having a second kid, back to our little hometown, which is where we live now in Belmar, New Jersey, small little beach town. And I decided to walk away and retire from high-level coaching so I could be a high-level dad. And if I ever wanted to go back, I figured I'd probably have enough name equity that I could get back in the game if I ever wanted to. But I tell you, I was very smart with the money I made. I invest very well. I run a bunch of other businesses, real estate investment company, and a bunch of other shit going on. So I wasn't doing it for the money. I was doing it because I really cared about helping athletes. I saw myself, and Vitor Belfort had said, he said, you're not a coach. He said, you're a missionary. Like, you were sent from God, because he had a lot of health issues, and I was able to fix a lot of that for him. And I kind of saw it like, I'm here to like chaperone these athletes through a really turbulent time in their life and keep them healthy. Like, I kind of felt that like I was their shield more than anything else, to like protect them from themselves, from their habits, from, you know, the organization, from a lot of the hangers on around them. And I did a pretty good job of that. And then it was time for me to really focus on my own family. So that's why I stepped away. A lot of people are like, oh, Dolce fell off. I'm like, dude, I got so many big name contracts, like doubling what they want to pay me in those days, to just stay in one more time. I was out.
Yeah. And I bet you haven't regretted that one bit.
I tell you, Tim, no, I wake up every day, and my kids are there, and every night, like I'm every single day, I'm home with my kids, morning and night. You know, I still work, I consult. I built more businesses since then. I'm a competitor, right? So I compete with business, 7 days a week I work, but I change the way I do it. And walking away from MMA and UFC at the high level was such a great decision for myself and my family. And I had to redefine, this is something as men, we all will go through. You have to redefine who you are at certain times, hopefully before you're forced to. Mm-hmm. And I had that opportunity to determine, who am I? Am I going to chase the ego and build this bigger monument to myself and what I can be? Or am I going to kind of fade away? Nobody heard a word about me probably, maybe until today. I don't know. In the MMA world, people have kind of forgotten, other than some of the OGs. Mm-hmm. I just faded away so I could be home. My kids know me. I'm the world champion in my house to my daughters, right? That's the most important thing. And then when they're older and they're busy and doing their things, like, I'll know I invested every moment into them instead of some other athlete who didn't care about me. They only cared what I could do for them. And you know that's kind of the way it is. Yeah. I get it, but I don't regret it at all. It's the best decision I ever made.
Yeah, that's the thing about fighting and being a coach. It's like, okay, this guy wants you here on Thursday or Wednesday, and then now you're gone. Now you're and then 2 fights later, that guy leaves and he doesn't want to work with you anymore, and you just lost that time that you could have had with your kid. Even Sean went through something similar as of recent. Like, do I keep becoming this crazy superstar, or do I enjoy my family and my kids and get off this social media and just not go based on my ego? And a heavy dose of mushrooms really helped him kind of make that decision. And already it's been the best decision he's ever made in his life.
What did he choose? Has he disclosed it publicly?
Yeah. I mean, he's not on Instagram anymore. He's not on Snapchat. He's not on X at all, 0%. So he's not seeing the input from millions of people. He just has more time to be at home and be present and be thankful for what he has and be with his family more.
That's great.
That's it. And we have such a small window to be with our children at that stage of their lives. we don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that. And because once that's gone, it's gone forever. You can be with them as adults for the rest of our life, right? Because they'll be adults pretty damn quick, and then you'll just know your kids as an adult. But to know them as children, to be there as children, I mean, we homeschool our kids even. Like, we went that far all into raising them the way we wanted to raise them, to invest into them, right? So deep respect for Sean for doing that, because, I mean, he is and was at the pinnacle of fame. He got the big push. He's fucking everywhere. And that's the ego, right? And so he had to fight that battle too. I get it, man. What deep respect I have for him to make that choice.
Yeah, and just like you said, like if he would have chose the other route, like, okay, we're going to go on all these trips we get invited to. We're going to go do all these tables, do these bottles, do all this partying. Eventually, it's going to knock you down and force you to realize. You see it so many times with like people in their early 20s and their 30s, they become a star and something, like they start doing drug overdose. The highs are not high enough and they need to go higher and higher, and then they just fucking crash.
That's what Mike was just saying. Some people would make that choice. Some people are forced to, if that's forced upon them, they have to make that choice.
Yeah. So it's worked out good.
Yeah.
Back to the athletes. Do you ever recommend your athletes doing blood work?
Yeah. So we do comprehensive blood work at least twice per year, and I've been doing that forever. It's important, but it's not the end all and be all. And we say we treat the patient, not the paper. Blood work is simply one data point to consider. Like me personally, my white blood cells run very, very low. You look at that, you're like, oh my God, you got an issue. You got to, maybe take antibiotics. You got to, get IV infusions. But when you look at my health history, I've never been sick. I'm never sick. Fucking walk right through COVID fucking like it's nothing, right? Like I'm John Wick, right? Never sick. Just the way I run. Just one, name or, one kind of like little data point. So we run blood work. We look at blood work. We understand blood work. But at the same time, we look at all of the other metrics too. How do you sleep? Like, what's your bowel movements like? How are you performing in the gym? What's body composition doing? What's your level of what's your sense of humor like? If, I talk to the coaches back, I was doing it. I want to talk to the coach. I want to talk to your wife. I want to, get to know the athlete enough so I'm safe and I can talk to the kids. Hey, how's dad doing? Is he playing with you? Joking around with you? All of that stuff matters as much as what your labs might say, because labs are just a range, and inside the range, then there's a ratio. Mm-hmm. But if dude, my lab, and how many guys do you know? Their lab works perfect, but their fucking dick isn't getting hard. The wife is super pissed off, right? They're impatient. They're not playing with their kids. They're laying in fucking bed all day, staring at the ceiling. Their coach is dragging their ass to the gym. Well, that's not a blood work issue. There's some other socio-emotional issues that are going on also that are equally or more important. So yes, we look at blood work, but that's just one of the spokes on the wheel that we really wanted to focus on for cultivating the optimal performance environment. It's everything.
Yeah, that's good. We've been working for years now with Dan Garner, and he's good about that too. And it's always interesting with the blood work, like things that you just think are 100% healthy for you. Like sometimes he'll be like, hey, Sean, you got to stop eggs for a bit. Eggs are causing you inflammation. Really? Takes a break from eggs and then ends up getting back on them. But yeah, I mean, Paul Check, one of the teachers we've learned from, Dan Garner, they've all helped us with that too. Just like, how are you sleeping? How hydrated are you? How is your relationships with your family? All that good stuff too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's nothing in a vacuum, right? There's so many, especially when you're a combat athlete, dude, it's all in your head. Physically, everybody's the same. Doesn't matter, right? It's fucking all upstairs. And what happens, outside the training room, outside the octagon, that has a dramatic impact on what happens inside, right? I know guys who had terrible blood work. Fuck, dude. I mean, we can say Johnny Hendricks because he's pretty public. Johnny Hendricks, when you look at his stats, his DEXA scan, his lifestyle, I won't say his labs or not, right? That's maybe too personal. But Johnny Hendricks should never perform at the level that he did. My opinion, the whole world's opinion, Johnny beat the shit out of George St. Pierre, right? On paper, that should never happen because Johnny's mentality at that time was so dialed in to perform You could have fucking chopped his left leg off and he still would have hopped out there, beat George's ass without missing a beat, right? So that kind of little mental mix really is a big part of it too.
Yeah, for sure. If you got a kid who's an absolute fucking dog, and then you got a kid who's dialed in top to bottom with his training, his nutrition, everything, but isn't a dog, the dog's probably going to win in a fight.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, recently I saw the guy named, I don't know how much you get on socials, but a guy named Bio Lane calling you out. What was he calling you out for?
Dude, because he's one of those thumb dicks I talk about all the time, man. So, and I'll do a response, because I guess that's what you're supposed to do in the social media era. I'll respond to Lane. So Lane Norton started going after me in the early 2010s when I started getting famous inside MMA. Mm-hmm. Now, why would he go after me? I'm the only coach at the highest level of the UFC that has a 100% success rate, weighing athletes in on weight, on time, every single time, with never one medical mishap or hospitalization, right? I mean, this is going back since pre-2004. I got a pretty good fucking resume. I talk about eating whole food, no synthetics, right? Like sensible training, hug your wife, kiss your kids, get a good night's sleep, train hard, eat good food, and stay away from all the nonsense. Like, that's kind of who I am. So Lane starts going after this idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about, blah, 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 blah. It's like this fucking thumb dick, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I could air a lot of his dirty laundry because I know it, but he is a moral degenerate and a compulsive liar. I'm a guy who's married 25 years to the same woman, right? Through the heights of MMA and all the craziness and access, right? Man, you say what you want, but I'd like to think I have some pretty good integrity. Lane has zero integrity. He's a compulsive liar, as proven by his private and public admissions and people around him who've spoken to. And then he hides behind his whole, I'm a doctor. It's like, dude, you have a PhD in nutrition, bro. You're not a fucking doctor. And that pisses me off. Don't run around saying you're a fucking doctor, because if you're on a flight and the flight attendant says, is there a doctor on the plane? They're not pointing the fucking Lane Norton, right? You're a PhD and hey, that's cool. You have a little, 2 extra years in school, answering some tests and writing down on paper, but you don't have any real tangible life skills. And I'm ranting on Lane right now on purpose. Now, Lane has 0 world champions on his resume. I lost count of how many world champions I've worked with and how many world titles I've been a part of, literally hundreds. Felix Sturm and Sean Porter, if you guys follow boxing and MMA, and just like, Andre Berto, it's fuck, man, we go through the loops and fucking, NFL, Pro Bowl and all this stuff. Like, my resume is pretty deep. So the world's greatest athletes all choose me time and time and time again. Nobody's choosing this thumb dick. But he kind of comes after me. But when you look at him, he goes after a lot of people. Now, what I've been saying since day one is whole foods beat synthetic ultra-processed foods, bar none. Lane, on the other hand, was telling everybody and still tells everyone, because he is a macro dude who sells a macro app and a macro calculator, because that's the low-hanging fruit in fitness. You can have Pop-Tarts and diet soda, and you can eat the synthetic shit as long as you balance your macros. You're fine. For 20 years, 2011, in Living Lean, and 2007 even, and 3 weeks to Shredded, the manual you have, it's all whole food-based. Mm-hmm. It's not a macro program. It's a whole food-based program. So I'm kind of validated on the record. A decade before that, I'm writing in magazines in the early days. So Lane was going in about synthetics, and I'll close the loop here. And I was a whole food guy. Well, he's got a PhD and I don't. He's been proven emphatically wrong now, where the science is, and the whole Maha movement and Robert Kennedy and Kaylee and Casey Means and all of these other kind of great minds in nutrition. The whole government, the whole world is now moving to the Dolce diet, which I think is funny. Right? They're all now saying what I was saying 25 years ago is the right way to do it. I'm like, no shit. I have a wall full of amazing athletes who that's what we did to achieve world-class performances. You're just catching up to it. So Lane doesn't like me because I'm more successful than he is. Lane doesn't like me because I've achieved a level of success that he cannot comprehend and he can't purchase. So Lane likes to go after people like me who have brand equity because he'll never have that. No one will never, ever trust him. No one will ever truly like him. He will never be truly successful in what he does because what he does is biased based upon what he's trying to sell you. Everything I do is based upon what will help you regardless of my ability to sell it. I never went in on keto and macro and carnivore and fasting. I mean, I've turned down probably millions of dollars in aggregate endorsements because I wouldn't sell all the bullshit as it came through. Lane, on the other hand, I was spending maybe too much time because it is fun to make fun of him. I do enjoy that. Like the whole thumb dick. I mean, that's him. And I think let me wash it away. Lane doesn't like me because he's got a tiny little pecker and I don't.
You got a big piece on you.
There we go. I got size 13 shoes. So take that for what it is.
Yeah, it's weird with the high level people that have good followings. It's just not like interested in the diets and then supporting the people that are like, oh, hey, he's promoting whole foods and good sleep and good hydration. How can you really go against that? And you don't see a ton of them just purposely bring it up and dogging on other people. The carnivore diet, what are some things that you think that's missing?
Produce. I had a little back and forth with Sean Baker, right? Sean Baker's like the big name in carnivore. And I laugh because like, hey man, Sean, you're doing great. Like if Sean was my neighbor, dude, we'd hang out, right? I like him. So I'm not going to bash him like Lane. I think I like Sean. I don't know him personally, but we've had some back and forth. I'm like, dude, Sean, explain to me why your people can't eat blueberries. Because like carnivores meat only. Okay. Well, why can't they eat blueberries? Blueberries are one of the most scientifically researched food items in the world with overwhelmingly positive peer-reviewed responses. Why can't you eat blueberries? Other than you are just being tribal and cultish and dogmatic, and you're kind of selling a false narrative. Now, you can say, hey, meat's great. I eat meat. I personally eat meat. I love it. But I also eat blueberries. Mm-hmm. And I also eat rice and potatoes and black beans. I was eating mango right before I came on the call. Why can't I eat that? Now, I'm leaner than Sean. Now, Sean Baker, the carnivore, it's funny because I've seen Sean and I laugh. Sean has gone on like every year. He's like, I'm going on a cut. He's like, oh, look at how much fat and meat I'm eating on this cut. At the end of the cut, he looks exactly the same. He didn't get any leaner. Dude, you didn't get leaner because you're not eating carbohydrates. You're teaching your body to store and hold fat. Like he's so deep into, I believe he's so deep into the cult of a carnivore that he forgot the biology, the physiology, the biochemistry of how we actually metabolize and utilize energy substrates. What actually helps. Now, and I'll say this last, if carnivore was right, every bodybuilder, every Mr. Olympia would follow the carnivore diet to get fucking peeled for stage, but they don't. When a bodybuilder has to get down to sub 5% body fat, what do? Moderate protein, moderate to high carbohydrates, very low fat. That is the way you get peeled with proper energy output exertion. So it kind of like blows the whole. What I kind of get frustrated at is like, why doesn't anybody see this simple fact? Right? You're like, don't believe me. I don't care. Just like the fact is right there. It's like, Isaac Newton saw the apple fall and he's like, oh, gravity. Like there's governing laws that are very observable. Everything I've ever done through the Dolce diet is nothing I've, quote, created. I just noted it and started to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I didn't create nutrition science. It's already there. I just noted it. That's what works. That's how it works. That's the end of it. And I'll say this last piece on my rant. There is absolutely nothing new in the world of nutrition. There's no new science. The only thing we're maybe learning is the mechanisms that we've already known. The human Homo sapien as we are today, we're about 300, 500,000 years old, give or take. This version of us, off of a strain that's about 2 million or so years old. Every one of those motherfuckers was eating food. We have a very good data set of what works and what doesn't. We know very definitively what is ideal and what is not. That's all we have to do. So sugar fasting or water fasting or keto or carnivore or the synthetics and the ultra processed and the pills, the powders, the potions, boys, that's all bullshit. Single ingredient, healthful, whole food in moderation, evenly spaced to improve digestive efficacy based upon energy output relative to your goal. That's it. Super simple, nothing more complex. You don't have to buy a fucking thing for me. Just do what I just said. Your life will be great. And then the last little 10% is like, oh, you want to do an MMA fight? Here, tweak it like this. Oh, you're going to run a marathon? Oh, tweak it like that. That's all you need to do.
No, that's good stuff. So say an average morning routine for you. What's the first thing you're putting in your body and the fuel you're doing in the morning?
Awesome. Great question. So when I get out of bed, I take about 5 minutes to just breathe and reflect and set my mental state for the day, which sounds like woo-woo to some people, but it's not. It's just like preparing for the day, breathing deeply, oxygenating my body, and like mentally preparing to fucking crush shit today, right? Before I go to sleep at night, I'm already looking at my schedule. I know my emails. I know what I have to do, where I have to be, all that, where my kids are going to be, where my wife's going to be. I know that before I go to bed. So I have an idea of my schedule. I wake up and I know what I have to enact today. Breathe, prepare, get ready, make my way to the bathroom, relieve myself, brush my teeth, and I start to hydrate with 32 ounces of room temperature water, usually with a little sprinkle of sea salt and a little fresh squeezed lime juice. That's it. From there, I'm looking to get a little healthy movement in, whether it's a little stretching. Now it's gorgeous outside. I'll go chill out in my backyard for a few minutes. My kids are usually up, out, running around. They're not fucking iPad kids. They're playing the dirt kids, right? Out there. They're already out there playing with the dog. Boom, get outside. Come in. I'll make a black coffee. I'll sit down. I'll answer some emails. Start shooting out. Boom, boom, boom. This has to get done today. And then from there, I'm going to go hit fasted cardio. Fasted cardio is 30, 45 minutes or so outdoors, ideally. Rain, sleet, snow, sunshine. I'm pretty much always out there. I live on the beach in Jersey, which is gorgeous, right? Out there getting body movement in. I come home and it's time to start eating. So this is all within like the first 60 to 90 minutes of waking up. And then when I come home, it's like, dude, I'm energized. I'm hydrated. Heart rate's up, feeling good. I got a good sweat on. My digestion's moving. Like, I'm fucking ready to go. And then it's fucking, all gas, no brakes from that point forward.
God, nothing better than a good dialed in morning routine. I swear to God. Joe Diesel throwing a toaster strudel, pull up X.
I don't got a morning routine.
Have a little jack off. Just get her started.
It's fucking life. Is usually impotence usually a sign of a declining athlete?
Impotence, a sign of, I'd say it's a sign of irregular hormone patterns, which would then be correlated to reduced athletic performance.
Mm-hmm. Impotence has crippled Tim throughout his adult life.
What does the impotent means?
Imp dick. Impotence?
That's fucking lie, man. So, that's good shit. So do you monitor yourself when you're on your apps? Are you usually on Instagram, X? What are you usually on? Or do you monitor yourself quite a bit on that?
Monitor meaning what?
Like not fucking being on there 5-6 hours a day like Diesel.
Dude, I call it business media. It's not social media. If I text you, I got your number now, boom, I text you, that's social media. You're my social group, right? You're going to get a text message from me. That's the way it is. When I'm on Instagram, any public profile, it is business. I'm honest and transparent. It's never a lie, but it's business. I know there are millions of people that can see this. And when I'm putting something out there, I'm sending a message out there. I'm putting a billboard out there, right? I'm not going to tell them like, hey, like if I ever post about my kids, it's weeks after that thing happened. Mm-hmm. It's never like, hey, my kids are here in Disney World right now. It's like, no, that was a fucking month ago. We were there looking like it's today, mm-hmm. right? So kind of like using some of those techniques, not that I really post my kids very much, but most of what I put on Instagram is all about motivation and helping people live better, healthier lives. I got to tell you, I'm 49 years old and I'm kind of over the whole dancing monkey bullshit with social media. You got to get a hook and you got to get them in 3 seconds. You got to have quick change tiles, go, go, go. And you got to get your things. But I'm fucking over that, dude. Some days I don't even go on there anymore. I'm just over it. Right. Mm-hmm. And I respect the people who do it. I started in the analog days. I went when I was in high school. There was no cell phones. I don't know how old you are, Riggs, but no cell phones when I graduated
42.
high school.
I'm an old bird too.
So you get it. Like we were like in the beeper era as like, teenagers, right? So this whole fucking world right now, it's too connected and it's unhealthy. So anytime I'm on my phone, it's all for business. Now I have to monitor accounts and answer questions and DMs and all that shit and put some content out there. But I am not a slave at all to my phone, and my family keeps me grounded. So when I come home, my phone goes, we have a Faraday box by our front door. All my tech goes into there, my keys and all that stuff. So people can't kind of Bluetooth and steal my cars or whatnot. All goes into my Faraday box. So if you call me, text me, it's going to go straight to voicemail, just so you know. That means it's in my box. Now, I'll take that box out every hour or two and just, what's going on? Oh, shit, Tim text. Yeah, boom, hear that. And I'll ping you back. Like that's the way it'll go. Mm-hmm. But I don't put a lot of time or effort into social media anymore because I don't have, it's not who I truly am. I just don't have the bandwidth for it.
Yeah, no, that's good shit. Well, dude, thanks so much for coming on and dropping some wisdom on us. Where can people follow you and check out all your stuff you got going on?
Dude, right here, we just launched a supplement company called Stronger Supplements with a GRR, Stronger, baby. 100% all natural, evidence-based, clinically dosed, zero synthetics ever. So it's a natural extension of the Dolce diet in whole food-based supplements that fucking work. We will never put out anything that doesn't work. Only things that do. So if anyone's interested, check out Stronger Supplements. And then the Dolce diet platform is built in there. So we have an online, 3 weeks to shredded, living lean, squats. We have online programs, workouts for anyone at any stage. That's all built into that platform too. So it's a one-stop shop.
All DolceDiet.com.
TheDolceDiet.com. You go there, go to Stronger Supplements, The Dolce Diet on Instagram. And that's kind of where it mostly is. But with AI, man, it's not from a business perspective. AI is coming and they're coming hard, right? So all the digital shit is going away quick unless you own an AI SaaS company, service as a software company, gone. It's all about hard products, right? So what is that going to be? And it's going to be all about in-person and gyms. I'm probably going to reopen my gym. We had 3 gyms in Vegas. I might reopen a gym chain again because people are going to be craving that in-person experience once again. I'm kind of over digital. I want to see people. I want to hear the grunts in the background. I want to see sweat on the floor. People miss that. So it's kind of like we're moving away from digital. We still have it. It's like books. We had the books. We went from books to digital. Now digital back to hard products. Following the cycles, man. Stay on top of it.
Dude, hell yeah. Thanks a ton, Mike. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Awesome, boys. Good to see you.
We can keep running on this end here. I want to do some, we'll do some bookmarks of Twitter here.
Bookmarks, okay.
Twitter bookmarks. So this one is from Hassan Haider. There is actual actual competition. 99% of men watch porn, play video games, doom scroll all day, eat junk food, smoke weed, drink too much, get depressed too easily, addicted to instant gratification. Stay consistent and you will win.
Hold on.
That's fucking true.
Hold on. 99% of men?
99.
How many of those do you partake in?
Let's see.
Be honest. Don't.
So right now, I'm playing video games. I probably play video games 2 hours a week. Okay.
Oh, that's not bad.
Junk food. I don't eat junk food. I do eat a lot of food, but it's usually really good food. Doom scroll. I've been doing better about not doom scrolling, but I do get on this fucking X, dude. But I follow a lot of smart people on X.
What do you do on there?
A lot of like philosopher peoples, very just smart people. So I'm not just consumed with a bunch of just drama and bullshit on here. Okay. Smoke weed. I do smoke weed in the night. I have some puffs. Nice. Dude. Is that funny?
It is.
Okay.
The pictures I gave you, fucking hanging upside down. I do enjoy those.
Drink too much. Don't drink. Get depressed easily. I mean, I can't get depressed when people are going through the shit like Ben Askren's going through.
Yeah, I've never seen you depressed.
It's hard to be depressed. It's hard to be depressed when there's just so much to be thankful for. I feel like
that's a good way of looking at it.
Addicted to instant gratification, a quick jack, a quick bust,
a quick jack. Yeah.
Maybe eating bad food again. That's instant gratification. What else is instant gratification? I don't know. Those are probably the 2 big ones. Okay, next one. A fit body, a calm mind, a house full of love. These things cannot be bought. They must be earned. That's a good one there, huh? This one from Orange Book. People love to convince themselves that they don't want what they're scared of not being able to get. That's like me in my mini house back in the day, remember? Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to be good with the mini house. People love to convince themselves that they don't want what they're scared of not being able to get.
Were you saying you didn't want that? You just wanted the mini house?
Just the mini house. That's exactly what the fuck it was. I'm like, when I read that, I'm like, God damn, that's good. Okay. How about this one? Be a person who can be relied on. Be a person who can be relied on. When it's close to certain that you'll show up on time and do what needs to be done, you get jobs, clients, investors, and more. What they don't know if you're going to when they don't know if you're going to deliver or not, you get passed over almost every time. This is so simple, but when you figure it out, you'll quickly join the top percent.
God damn it.
Boy, is that true.
Isn't it? Damn.
Boy, is that fucking true, dude.
I've been known to say, God,
you've been better.
I have.
You've been fucking better. Teaching the fucking squad here at the dojo. You haven't missed one day. I don't even stress about it at all. I know you're going to be there.
In the beginning, were you stressing about it?
I'm like, well, we'll see. We'll see if he comes. We'll see if he comes or not. I mean, I'll love you either way. But podcast, you're always here, except that one Patreon podcast.
Oh, which one was that? Oh, fuck.
2 weeks ago, you said just like
just
5 minutes into the pod. I'm not coming.
Don't bring a bullshit.
Let's be in the now. Let's be in the now. You're right.
Yeah.
Master the art of moving on. Master the art of moving on. Getting fired or quitting a job shouldn't be the end of the world. Closing a business or even a relationship shouldn't be either. You know you're going to be okay eventually. So why delay the inevitable? Start being okay now. This is a skill. Study it, practice it, master it. Fuck, that's a good one.
How the fuck, if you're not okay, how do you act okay? I mean, fake it till you make it, but sometimes it's just cutting too deep.
Well, I mean, it's going to cut you deep for a little. You're going to go through the sadness. You're going to go through the sadness, the hurt, but it's like, all right.
You never want to project on other people either. You know, I mean, whatever I'm going through, I always try to put a smile on my face, and you know, you never want to be around other people. Just, my life is being a victim like that. Yeah,
just fucking bore me all the time. You know, what was an interesting one is what do cats see?
God damn it. These cats again.
I was fucking hiring a kite last night, and I'm looking into my cat's eyes. I'm like, his eyes are so different. What do they see?
They see very well, right?
Vision characteristics in cats, color perception. They're colorblind-ish. Cats are dichromatic. They primarily see blues and greens. Reds, oranges, and pinks look like shades of gray or dull brown to them. Think of it like as slightly desaturated Instagram filter with less red. Night vision. Cats have 6 to 8 times more rod cells than humans, allowing them to see in very low light. Their eyes glow at night due to reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum, which bounces light back through the retina. Sharpness. Cats are nearsighted. What we see clearly at 100 feet, they might only see clearly at 20 feet. Their vision is best at short, medium distances, perfect for stalking prey. Cats are extremely good at detecting movement, especially in low light. Even the slightest motion catches their attention, why they love laser pointers and prey like toys. So,
how many cats do you have?
2, and they're great.
Good cats?
You've never had one cat that you've enjoyed.
I have.
Where he's a cool dude.
Well, they always fucking get at me. They spray at me. They fucking attack my leg. You know, the biggest things, I'll come out of the bathroom or something. These motherfuckers will lay and pounce on you, you know?
They will. They've done that to my brother. Pounce on his back, full claws on his back when he walked by. Grabbed it by its neck and just went.
What'd you do?
I was just laying there like, oh.
Oh, God. Were you mad at the cat or your brother?
Well, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure it was Mittens. Mittens was his name, and he just fucking, I'm like, well, what do you expect? You're going to get your fucking ass beat.
How long ago was this?
It was when I was younger. Other than that, Bitcoin, we're going to the moon. We're going to the fucking moon,
is
baby.
It ready? I got that one you sent me the other day. Is it 112?
112.
Oh, fuck.
And this is interesting. So there's pretend it's pennies to the dollar. There's 100 pennies in $1. Okay. In one Bitcoin, there's 100 million Satoshis. So that's what they're called. Okay. That's what the thing will be. So this guy said 0.01 Bitcoin for a house sounds crazy, which right now it's $1,000 for 0.01 of a Bitcoin. Okay. But 1 million Satoshis doesn't. Okay. .0005 Bitcoin for a car sounds ridiculous, but 50,000 Satoshis doesn't. .000001 Bitcoin for a week of groceries sounds idiotic, but 100 Satoshis doesn't.
Satoshis?
So you better start stacking your Satoshis, bud, because in 20 years, $100,000 American is going to be like fucking poverty.
Really?
Probably, dude, because it is just the dollar, the way they're just they're just printing it, and it's going to be nothing.
They don't print pennies anymore. They don't make them anymore.
And Bitcoin, there's only 21 million mined.
So, fucking when I'm late in the game, it's hard to fucking get up.
You're not though. The thing is, everyone thinks you're late in the game. When a Bitcoin's worth $1 million a piece, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm too late." Right now, it's 100,000 a piece.
You think it's going to go? Do you think it's going to get to $1 million?
Yeah.
Well, that one night when we went to the comedy show,
more than $1 million in like 10, 15 years, 20 years.
I wish I would had you on fucking camera that night. The world was fucking cut. Your world was fucking just flowing right that night.
Dad, but right now I'm like, I hope the shit just fucking tanks so I can buy more.
Really?
Yes.
No shit.
Yes.
Do you think it might possibly tank?
I don't think so. I'm nervous it'll never go down again, but I'm sure it will. But the thing is, with all these countries and all these people and Donald Trump saying it's going to the moon and all these smart people saying it's,
and with BRICS happening, all that stuff, that's nobody wants the government involved with this shit.
Yeah. Well, boys and girls, hope you enjoyed that show. TimboMerch.com. You can get some Red Hawk Recap merch, Red Hawk Academy merch, and it's really quality too. It's TimboMerch.com. And then every week, if you enjoy this pod, we get a little crazier. On the Patreon.com/Red Hawk Academy. Thank you to all my loyal Patreons over the years. And quality podcast comes out every week on there. Plus, you get 30% off the Thorn supplements, which are third-party tested. Third-party testing for these supplements is very expensive for these supplement companies. So these third-party tested people come in, they test it to make sure it's exactly what it says on the bottle. If it's not third-party tested, NSF certified, that you don't know. They could be fucking putting flour in your shit for all you know. So Thorn, and then I'll put a link in the description too for 15% off if you guys want to give her a try. They have electrolytes, everything under the sun. And Joe Riggs, what's your Snapchat name?
I don't fucking know.
Well, maybe I'll shoot him a tag. I'll shoot him a tag on mine, and then you can give him a follow because he's been doing it. He's been doing it a little bit here and there. And the pickleball court next door, Joe.
Yeah, have you put more time, more thought into that?
We got a 12,000 square foot building right next to the dojo here, and it could fit 5 full size pickleball.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Full size pickleball courts. I went down to the old pickleball center. They opened probably 10 miles from here. The guy said he got 350 members in 3 months, and they're all paying from $140 to $80. So. I mean, it's the #1 growing sport in America. The most popular age group is like 50 to 70 people, 50 to 70 year olds. And I live right here. Sun City is the Mecca. I mean, it's the retirement community. So I don't know. I'm gonna talk to a couple of my buddies who've been in the game for a while next Monday, and if they said do it, then I'm gonna do it. Sugar and I are going to go in and do it, but then also not 100% yet. So we'll figure it out. But making another community for the old folks, having some monthly tournaments, making the vibe in there just fucking sweet, pumping music. We could do all sorts of shit. You
might have a couple guys just running there and trying to fuck them old birds over there.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, in Sun City, like maybe 10 years ago, there was an HIV epidemic.
From butt fucking?
these old birds, some. They were hiring these fucking these gigolos. They were coming through fucking them. Like it was quite a scare apparently.
Well, don't they say like at these old folks retirement homes, there's just a lot of fucking going on?
There is, and some bastard got in there with HIV. It's kind of ruined the whole thing. Oh, and my Snapchat is Joe Riggs 25.
Joe Riggs 25 at Joe Riggs 25. So shoot him a message. He'll love to respond. So.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Love y'all. Bye bye.